All right, guys, what's going on? Today, we are all together and we are going to spend about an hour and a half. And you guys need to be ready to get a lot of value out of this webinar today. My name is Stanislav Shamayev, and I'm licensed business immigration and corporate attorney in Miami, Florida. Today, I'm doing this trip not from Miami, but from Colombia. So let me guys know where you are from. Please drop the locations. Uh, Tell me which city you're in so I could know the specific geographical locations and countries so I could use my examples from my career, from my practice to address certain issues for certain countries. Because you guys know that the country where you were born and where you are at is very important for the purpose of investing, for the purpose of business visas and everything else. So let's see what's going on here. So we have Saif from Trinidad and Tobago. Saif is right next door to me. Saif, I'm in Santa Marta right now in Columbus, so we're really close. Al Cutler from Germany. Sorry about Germany leaving the Euro 2024. I thought Germany had a really good team, the support of the home people. So really sorry about that. Let me guys know which country you're betting on. I'm betting on Spain. Chetan from Ireland, Dublin. Really good, really good. I'm planning to go to Ireland maybe this fall for the conference. So maybe Chetan, maybe I'll see you there. Abdul from Pakistan, national resident of Saudi Arabia, very good. Saif is like, yes, I'm in. Good, guys, good. Not everybody mentioned the country, no problem. Maybe somebody doesn't want to release where you're from. It's okay, it's okay. So I will be focusing the countries that I know you guys from for sure. So if somebody else wants to share, please do not hesitate. All right, so what are you guys going to learn today? You're going to learn what does it mean implying for investor, and it's investor slash business visa. Okay, it's not about only investment. It's also about the type of a nature of the business and what are the common mistakes I see other attorneys do, and the clients think they're doing right, but they actually doing it wrong. Okay, so I'm going to be addressing those issues. We're going to touch a little bit on how to choose the right immigration attorney. Okay, and I'll touch base on this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I think I know the topics that you guys need to understand to pick and choose the proper attorney for yourself. Number 3, navigating the legal processes and potential obstacles. And that's more about the criteria of each visa. And by the way, guys, today's webinar is because we have a lot of things to cover. It's just a lot of things, okay? So I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on the depth of the criteria. My task today, on top of giving it the value, to give you a bigger picture of the options and capabilities for you guys to come here in the US and start your own business, purchase an existing business, and your pathway to the big. Okay, so that's my ultimate purpose for today. And of course, if you guys feel like you want to ask a question, and remember, guys, there is no stupid question. We will discuss the immigration to the States. There is no silly questions. There is no stupid questions. There is no irrelevant questions. So whatever you feel the burn to ask me, do not hesitate, okay? I will never laugh. I will never say something derogatory. I'm happy to see your questions because through your questions, I can build up a better presentation, okay? And of course, we have Prasanna from India. Guys, we have I think we don't have clients from Trinidad and Tobago just because it's a small island and there's not a lot of people. Maybe Saif, you'll be the first one. But Germany, Ireland, Pakistan, India, a lot of clients. Okay, we have a lot of trust from those countries, which is exciting for me. For those of you guys who is going to stay till the end, and I encourage you to stay till the end, even if a certain visa that I'm covering at the moment of the time does not fit you, the next one may. Okay, so stay till the end, and those of you who will stay till the end not only get the most out of this webinar, but also you will get two gifts. Gift number one is the free evaluation of whatever case you have. If it's E2 visa, L1, O1, EB1A, EB2 NIW, EB5, you will get a chance to get an initial analysis from me for whatever case you have. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you will get a guide on how to get a US visa. And guys, there is no other place you will get a guide like this. It's built by me, special for you. Okay, so stay tuned. All right, the simple recommendation, guys, since you are here and I'm here, so let's commit this time to this webinar. I promise I will give all I have. I'm not gonna conceal anything. Okay, I'm not that attorney who's gonna be, oh, you gotta pay me money, come to the consultation and I'll give you the secret. No, I'm not working like this. My team is not working like that. I prefer to give you everything at the beginning so you are clear what is needed from you, what are my demands, and what are the chances. Okay, so commit this hour and a half of your time, which is the most valuable commodity. Guys, time is the most valuable commodity in the world. So I do appreciate you being here because you're ready to commit this time to me and this webinar. And I'm gonna do the same. It's a mutual respect. Okay, so I recommend to focus on this and take notes. Okay, take notes because it's going to be a lot, so you need to remember that. All right, briefly about myself. If you guys do not follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, you probably like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? We don't know you, so give us a little bit about yourself. So my name is Stanislav Shamayev. I have more than 10 years experience in American jurisprudence. My company has more than 100 employees in 10 departments. And we have only one task, one purpose, to get you the result. Okay, that's the goal of my company, to bring 10,000 of you guys to the US by the year 2030. Okay, we are 25% of this goal in. So if at least one purpose from you become the next person will get an approval, I mean, that's the minimum requirement I have from this. Okay, I will be excited. So we are moving toward this first purpose, and our operations expand to more than 50 countries in the world. Okay, I'm licensed in Florida. I can do immigration law in any state in the US. I'm a member of Florida Broward Bar County Association. I can practice in Florida Courts of Appeals and 11th Federal District Court of Appeals. All right, so if you guys mention your state of the future operations in the US, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, we can represent you even in the appellate court. All right, let's move on. What stands me and my company out? That we have specialization. We don't take family cases. We don't take deportations. We don't take asylums. We don't take all those cases. If you have a case there, we will refer you to another attorney. We specialize business and investor visas, talent visas, and work visas. That's all we do. All day, every day for many, many years. So we have a high knowledge and expertise in these type of visas. On a regular monthly basis, we file about 30 cases. Okay, so basically one case a day, and about 500 cases, up to 500 cases a year. All right, so that's our volume. All right, we have Ion from Romania. Ion, greetings to Romania. We do have clients from Romania. Actually, we got a recent E2 approval from our client from Romania, which is really good. Okay, so guys, let's start with the biggest investment program, which is EB5, right? And let me tell you guys, how do you know if, let's say, I'm calling different types of visas: O1, L1, J1, B1, F1, EB1, EB2. Oh my God, you'll be like, oh, my head is spinning. What's going on? So it's really easy for you guys to know if I'm speaking about immigration program or non-immigrant visa. How do you know that? If the visa begins with two letters, E, B, for example, EB5, which you see on the screen, right? So if it's EB, it means employment based. Okay, employment based. There are 5 categories of EB visa: EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and surprise, EB5. If it starts with EB, that means it gives you the green card. Got it? Any visa starting with EB means green card. So if I call another visa O1, L1, E2, you know it doesn't start with EB, which means it's a non-immigrant visa, which means it doesn't automatically give you the green card. All right? So it's important to understand because we're going to be talking about both non-immigrant and immigrant programs. So we will start with EB5, immigration visa for investors with a big budget. And guys, don't get discouraged after we pass this program because it's only for high worth individuals. Okay, after this program, we're going to discuss other that available to most of you. So, what EB5? This is one of the greatest programs for those of you who have at least $800,000 to invest. And once we get you approved for EB5 program, it's you, your spouse, and your kids under 21 years old who are unmarried. All right? This program has 2 subcategories: the passive investment and active investment. What's the difference? With the passive investment, you are giving your money in the amount of $800,000. You actually loan the money to American developers that are accredited by the US government. And those developers are called regional center. So if you hear someone saying, hey, I'm from regional center, that means that they accredited by the US government to accept your loans and give you the papers that will grant you the basis to get the green card. And you'll be like, Stanislav, but the name of the program is investment. Why do you say loan for the passive investment? The loan is because your investment is refundable. And it's refundable within 5 to 7 years after you start participating in the passive investment. Okay? The main criterion is the origin of your funds. To prove to the US government that the money that you're investing or loaning for this purpose have been made legal. All right? The active side of this investment is $1,050,000, and you can start a new company, and you will have obligation to create 10 jobs within 2 years after approval of your petition. So the difference between passive and active is in passive investment, it's lower amount, and you loan that money for 5-7 years. The active, and you do nothing. That's all. That's all you need to do. The active investment, you start your own business, and it's on you to create the 10 jobs, but you're the one to control and direct your money. All right? And the processing time says 18 to 24 months. Guys, this is changing. This is changing because recently for the projects in the rural areas or high unemployment areas get approved within 2-3 months. And this is incredible. This is incredible, guys. I have cases from 2018-19 for E5 which are not yet approved. Okay, so the new cases being filed right now getting a fast approval. Okay, so that's all I want to tell you about EB5. All you need to remember, it's a large investment program that requires at least $800,000 of clean money, which you either can loan to the regional center or put in your own business and be responsible to create 10 jobs within 2 years after the approval of your petition. Okay, let's move on. The next one is E2 visa, non-immigrant visa for investors. And you guys already know, if the visa doesn't start with EB, that means it's non-immigrant. But E2 visa is one of the simplest, easiest, and fastest solutions to come to the States. Okay? So even if in your mind, you're like, okay, I don't want a non-immigrant visa. I want to go with green card. But you may not have the option to get to the green card. So the non-immigrant visas are the great way to put your feet in the door. Okay? So E2 visa is one of those greatest way to start. First of all, E2 visa is not for all countries. Okay? It's not for all countries. You need to know first whether your country has a treaty agreement with the US government. And let me tell you guys, Germany, Ireland, Pakistan, you guys have, I can tell you right now, Romania, you guys do have access to E2 visa. India, unfortunately, no. Trinidad and Tobago, I'm not sure. I need to look it up, okay? I suspect it does. Saif, write down, please. You can check it online real quick and let me know if Trinidad and Tobago are a part of the E2 countries. So once you guys know that your country is a treaty country for the purpose of E2, it's great news. Okay, this is great news. What do you need to what do you need to do next to participate in this program? First, you need to come up with the idea of the business idea. Ion, Spain, absolutely. Absolutely. Actually, today, a client from Spain, from Mallorca, hired me to do the E2 visa for them. Okay? So E2 for Spain, 100%. So you need a business idea, business plan for 5 years, at least 100K of clean money. And the last but not least, once you have all that, you need to spend about 70% of your investment for the purpose of your E2 business. So, for example, you want to open up a cafe in the mall, and you want to spend $200,000 on this cafe. So, in this example, you need to find a space in the mall, lease it, purchase all the equipment, the cooking equipment, the tables, the software, the computers, the lights, the music, everything, the sign, right? Put it inside. Maybe already hire 1-2 people. If you can start up the business, it's even better. So at the time when we file to the embassy for your E2 visa, I want to see $130,000, $150,000 spent out of the 200 that we claim. Okay? So that's the way to go. And of course, a business plan and everything is going to be a part of the file. How long your visa is going to be for? And let's first, guys, separate two things: status and visa. It's important to understand the difference. The visa is the ticket to the movie. Okay? To get to the movie, you need to get a ticket. The status is how long can you stay to watch this particular movie. Okay? So apply it to the US. A visa is to enter the US. The status is how long can you stay in the US, regardless how long is your visa for. So your visa could be for 3 months, but your stay for E2 visa, regardless of the length of your visa, is going to be for 2 years. For example, the length of the visa for Germany, Spain, and I believe for Romania, don't quote me on that, but I believe Romania is also in that list, is 5 years, right? 5 years. But when you enter the US, the status is for 2 years, which means that if you did not leave the US within the 2 years and you just stayed and did your business, you either need to extend your status or leave and come back. I suggest the second option because it's so much easier, right? You just went back to Germany, visit your relatives, you came back, that's it, you get another 2 years. So I hope this is clear, guys. I hope this is clear. The beauty of E2 visa, guys, not only in the simplified requirement, because trust me, those are simple requirements, but also that your kids can go to American schools for free, okay, the public schools, and your spouse also have the privilege to work in the US. And they may work anywhere outside of your business. They may work within your business. But if they want to open up their own business, or work in the corporate America, no problem. Okay, so E2 is a great startup visa for you to come in the US, start your business, grow it, and then start thinking about how to get a green card. Okay, and there are, of course, a lot of options how you can switch from E2 to the green card. Not gonna spend a lot of time on this right now because we need a lot of things to cover. Okay, let me guys see what's going on with the questions. Let me see. Ion, I'm Spanish, but own 2 companies in Romania. I've been in US 6 months ago. No problem, Ion, no problem. 2 companies in Romania. You see, E2 visa, unlike L1 visa, and we're going to talk about L1 pretty soon, does not require you to have a company outside of the US. If you do, and many of you do have companies, your businesses, it's gonna help because for the immigration officer to see that you have an experience in the business, in running, directing your company, shows more confidence that you will be successful in the US. But it's not the legal requirement to have companies or businesses outside of the US for the purpose of E2 visa. That's why it's another reason why it's a great visa, right? And I say, I know why you're saying this because you know about L1 visa. That's why, like, okay, I understand where you're coming from. Marcella, do you have to have already made the investment or plan plus clean money works? So I guess what Marcella is asking is, do you have to already show that your money is clean and put that money at work for the purpose of the business before you file for E2 visa? And Marcel, let me know if I got it right. So if that's the question, my answer is yes, absolutely. Before filing to the embassy, guys, listen to this very attentively. If you work with me and my team in my corporation, the steps are as follows. First, and the very first, I need to approve the source of the funds. Only then you will transfer them to your LLC or corp in the US, and only then you will start spending. Okay? You have to start spending. There is no way to get E2 visa without at least 70% of the claimed amount to be spent. It's impossible because your money must be at risk. Okay, this is the criterion. It's not my desire. It's not my requirement. It's the requirement in the law. Okay, so without spending, no E2 visa. Okay, so but you spend only when I approve. I don't know how other attorneys work. If you happen to work with other attorneys or somebody, Lord forbid, some paralegals or unlicensed people, consultants. I mean, this is a disaster. But if you happen to do this, make sure that those who do this first see at the origin of your funds. Because if you invested money without that happened, this is really bad. Because there might be some holes in those documents. All right, so let's see. Yes, Marcella says yes. I got the question. Katarzyna. What about Poland? I do believe. Let me guys see, like, because I can't remember from the top of my head the E2 countries. So let me see. E2 treaty countries. Let's give me just 1 second. I'll let you know exactly if Poland and Trinidad and Tobago are the part of this list. Give me just 1 second. Okay, while it's loading on my phone, so let's see what other questions we have. Okay, I got it. So Poland, first Poland, yes, Poland is on the list, and let's say Trinidad, yes, absolutely. So you guys all only let me see what's the name the Prasanna, only Prasanna from India does not get that. Everybody else do. But Prasanna, I have solution for you, so don't worry. You have other visas going. So I have one more question in the bubble. Yes, it's also Katarzyna. Katarzyna is oh, where is the presentation? Questions. Wait, check. Okay. All right, so guys, let's move on. I think it's clear about E2. It's a really good startup visa. So I think I covered all the advantages. Yes, potential weight, high chance of approval, low investment. Yes, we'll all cover that. We'll all cover that. So spouses, yes, spouses can get the work permit. Children will be able to go to public schools, so no problem. Yes, let's talk about processing times. So well, 1 to 2 months the document collection, provided that you already have everything available. Okay, which is really the case. Let's be more realistic. Up to 6 months collecting and gathering the documents and preparing the package for the embassy. Realistically, we can shrink to 3 to 4 months. 3 to 4 months. And I know you guys are telling me, like Katerina or Ion is going to be Stanislav. I swear to God, I'll give you everything within the first week and we'll file within. Not happening. Okay, guys, this is not happening. If you're trying to get like some visa within 1 to 2 months, that's impossible. Okay, if you want to get the result. Yes, I had cases for a few weeks, and I don't want to talk about this. This is extreme examples. But if you want to move with a nice pace without stressing out, plan 3-4 months for E2, probably up to 6. Okay, those are realistic timing. If you're really serious about what you want to do. All right, let's see what else you guys get to say. For Poland, there are no restrictions. Yes, and Christina is the moderator today for the stream. We already mentioned that. Ion, well, we manufacture furniture from solid wood. All right, sounds really good. The idea is to open a warehouse and do distributions to states. Who is interested? I'm in contact already with the important stores in LA, New York, Florida, Maine, and Washington State. Ion, it's really good. You may be qualifying for E1. Okay, we're not covering E1 visa today because it's still kind of investment visa because you have to bring those goods to the US. Okay, so you still have to, but it's a little bit different way we prove it. So you may go both ways, E1 or E2. Okay, no problem. We can pack you up with that. And also you may be thinking about L1 visa, which we're going to cover right now, because you have the company outside of the US and you're planning to do distribution in the US. So we do have affiliation between the two companies, and you can be that executive position that we can transfer from your company outside of the US, let's say Romania, like you mentioned, to the US. And L1 is a better option for the purpose of the green card. However, it's a little bit more complicated visa. So let's talk about this. So L1 visa is for those of you guys, and you may own the businesses, but you do not have to own the businesses. Most importantly, you have to have a position in at least the company outside of the US, and that position should be either managerial or executive. What does that mean in the practical sense of this visa? This means that your company outside of the US has at least 15 employees. And I can go as low as 10 to 12 if you guys from Europe. Okay? And guys, I do not discriminate. I don't care which country you are from for the purpose of legal analysis. But believe it or not, if you're from Western Hemisphere, if you're from Spain, you're from Romania, you're from Germany, you're from Ireland, you guys have a better treatment. And I'm sorry about the people from Pakistan, India, Trinidad, and everybody else who are not a European citizen, right? This is just the reality of the immigration laws, and more loyal treatment to those who happen to live in Europe or be a citizen, okay? So for you guys, you'll have a better time getting the approvals for those visas, not to say that we still get approvals for everybody else, okay? But the number of employees, and for that sense, the proof of funds for E2 visa are going to be much easier for those of you from Europe. Now, why? And you'll be like, and some of you, I know you guys did your research. I know you guys watched the videos. Yeah, I know you read the forums and stuff like this. And I commend you for doing this. This is amazing. That means for me that you guys serious about your future and the future of your kids. Okay? I live my life for my kids and then for myself. Okay? That's all. And of course, I have my professional stuff. I have fiduciary duty to you. I work for your best interest. But the bottom line is our family and the future of that. So those of you who do research, who is serious about this, you guys have to question me. Okay? You have to question everything I say. And I know some of you like Stanislav. There is nothing in the law about 15 people. Nothing. Zero. Nada. And you guys are absolutely correct. There is nothing in the law. But I've been doing these visas for almost 10 years. And I know for a fact, if we do not have a three-layer structure into your company or in the department where you work, if it's a bigger company, where you have 3 to 4 managers reporting to you to the top. Okay, you are at the top of whatever structure. It could be the whole company. It could be a department in a bigger company or something in between. You must have 3 to 4 other managers reporting to you and 10, 11 people under those managers reporting to them. Okay? So operational and administrative employees report to the managers in their departments. Let's say it's a buy-sell business. So you have sales department, you have marketing department, you have financial department, and you have, let's say, logistic department. And again, this is just an example. Different combinations, right? So 4 managers controlling those departments, and the people under them doing the work. Okay? So that only when we have that, we can prove to the US government that you guys are executives or top managers. On top of that, we also need to prove each your function of an executive or a top manager by the documents. Okay? So the way it works when you guys work with my team, and trust me, guys, we've done everything to simplify and to make it easier for you. And it's still going to be pretty complex. So we even created the list of the functions that correlate with executive position. Okay? And the second part of this document are the functions that do not correlate with executive positions. So you need to pick your functions from the left and make sure that the ones that you did from the left, that if you have other functions, are not from the right column. Okay? So, and when you pick those functions, you need to provide the documents proving that you're doing that function. For example, each Monday, Eon gets with his managers for the briefing for the week. Okay? 10 a.m. And this is an executive function because you need to get the report from the managers and you need to give them the tasks, maybe, if that's the way you work. So we need to provide a schedule where that meeting is set, a document, then the minutes of the meeting, what happened at that meeting, or other meetings. Not all of them, but maybe 10 for the past 300, I don't know. And also the reports, if there are any, that the managers give to you, and how you give them the tasks. So imagine, for this one function, we need to provide like 20 documents, okay? And I know some of you are like, oh my God, I don't have zero. I have only 0 documents, Stanislav. Everything is like verbal. So today is the day when you start making those documents, all right? So there's no other way, guys. There's no ways around. We need to prove each one of your function. Okay, I spent a little bit more time on this so you guys could realize the scope of documents that we need to provide. Let me see. Okay, it's all good stuff. So let's go through this. So let's take a step back. L1 visa is for the executives and for the managers in the business. What we need to have? We need to have a company outside of the US where you control 15 people. 3 to 4 out of these 15 people are managers who directly control the rest of the people. It could be a department, it could be the whole company. Okay? Number 2, we must have a company in the US. 2 options. Number 1, it's an existing business. So you purchase or you already started some business before you developed it, and now it's operational running business with at least 8 employees. Okay? And you guys see, L1L is all about employees. So if your idea does not encompass employees in your US business, L1 business is not for you. This a simple test whether L1 visa is a good visa for you. And if it's good, guess it's going to be so much easier to get the green card. But the initial requirements are pretty high. So one question you guys need to ask yourself, Ion, let's see, Katerina, Marcella, everybody, guys, Saif, you ask yourself one question. Especially if it's a startup business, if you open up a new company, okay? And you don't have to have employees for the new company to start your L1 visa on the business plan. But the question is whether if I will have 5 employees in my US company at the end of year 1 of operations. Okay? Again, Will you be able to hire? Will your idea requires at least 5 employees in your startup business in the US at the end of year 1? Moreover, 1 or 2 people out of these 5 must be a manager. Okay? 1 or 2. At least 1, maybe 2. And 3 to 4 people who are doing the operational stuff. If your answer is no, next visa, L1 is not for you. Okay? If your answer is yes, the second question you ask. All right, guys, and you see how honest I am with you. Okay? Because I'm for the result. I don't need you to get an approval for L1 because I can get it for you. I need you to be successful. I need you to get the residency, green card, and then the passport. That's why we need to pick the right program to begin with. The second question you need to ask, if your answer is yes to the first question, whether my business be able to hire additional 3 employees up to the 8 within the next 2 years after the first extension. Because year 1 is the first extension. That's why we need 5 people to show that you're an executive or you're starting to be an executive. So for the year 3 of your startup business on L1, where you direct and control the whole company, is to get to the level of 2-3 managers and 5-6 employees under you, under those managers. And if we can get to this structure within the 3 years, that's how you're gonna get your green card. Got it? So it's not easy task to do. And trust me, guys, I've never seen L1 visa from startup to EB1C, because L1 has a switch to EB1C, the next level, the green card. I've never seen an investment within those 3 years less than $250,000. Not to say that it's impossible. I think it's possible if you have a really good idea, but we need to be realistic about our expectations. If you have 250 or more, and you answered yes and yes to both of my questions as to the employees in your future US business, and you have 15 employees, or maybe a little bit less if you're from Europe, in your current business, this is a green light for L1 EB1C. L1 is also gives your spouse the right to work. So your wife or your husband will get L2 visa, which will allow him or her to work in any business in the US, including yours. And your kids, for whom we're doing all this, will be able to go to public school for free. Okay? All right. So I think we covered everything. So let's see about the questions. Ion, okay, thank you. Very rare you can find people who has 1 billion. Absolutely, Ion. That's why we put it in the beginning to get rid of that, because some of you do have that, but not too many. Earned legally. Oh, Ion says earned legally, because I have 5 million, but they're not legal. All right. So I'm exposing myself in order if someone else could be in similar position. Open frontiers in USA meant that I have to employ at least 2 workers to prepare the goods for delivery. Sure, Ion. Absolutely. Look, if you're going E2 or E1 route, the minimum requirement that we can get you approved for this is as follows. Your business is ready to start operations tomorrow. That's the minimum. That's the minimum requirement. Okay. The priority requirement is to have the business already operational. And if you have 1 or 2 employees in your startup and it's already operating, I'm telling you right now, the chances of your approval in the embassy in front of the immigration officer skyrocketing. Okay, maybe from 80 to 90% to like 99%, because for them it's clear you're already doing this. So they need to give you the E2 visa, whatever E1 visa, for you to scale the operations. Okay, so this is really good if that's your plan. Okay, and by the way, guys, okay, let's because I see you guys very engaged. You're very engaged, and I love it, guys. Your questions are really important for me because I see that not only you're serious, but you are getting the value out of this, and that's what I'm giving you. So I'm gonna tell you a secret. No one else will tell you, okay? Or maybe it's a rare example. We are dealing with E2 visas and EB5 visas on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Today, we got an approval for E2 visa for our client from Ukraine in Frankfurt, Germany. And I'm honest with you, and I was honest with this client that his chances to get the E2 visa under his circumstances was probably around 40%. 30 to 40%. Not because he didn't have legal origin of funds, not because of that. Because he did not live in Ukraine for a few years. We all know why, because of this craziness. He brought his money to the US in cash through the airport. And he did not declare everything. Okay, red flag. His business was not operational at the time of the filing. And I told him, look, his name is Igor. I said, Igor, you have so many red flags. I don't even want to take your case because I wanted the result. I don't. And he said, Stanislav, I'll sign all the papers releasing you from liability. Okay, please take my case. Okay, I wasn't happy about it. I took that case. We did our best. We sent him to Frankfurt. We prepared for the interview. The best memorandum I wrote in my life. We did everything. Boom, he got approved. Okay, so guys, miracles happen. Okay, so let me tell you the secret now. What is the best way to prove the origin of your funds? The best way and the easiest is to take a loan from a company with personal guarantees. No collateral. No collateral. What is collateral? Let's say you take a credit loan in a bank. They will ask, okay, if you default, give us your house as a collateral. We're going to sell your house in case you default. The house is called collateral. So something you pledge to the loan to get that loan. So I want you, and again, that's the best. And sometimes we use it just as a default option. But sometimes we like Iwan said, like I some of my money I cannot show all the papers. It happens. It doesn't mean it was made illegally, but he just doesn't have the papers to prove it. Okay, it happens. So what Iwan needs to do is to go to his company or somebody else's company, regardless where that company is located. Romania, Spain, Trinidad, India, Pakistan, US, Canada, doesn't matter. All what matters that the company is real and it has the necessary funds to give a loan to someone, not to go bankrupt, right? So it must have the revenue, it must have the cash flow. So Ion goes to this company, his or somebody else. It's very important. It could be yours company, okay? And take the loan for $200,000, signs the promissory note. It's a legal document promising to return that money back for whatever terms they are, and guarantee by his own signature, guarantee that loan, pledge that loan by his own guarantee, by his own assets, okay, without mentioning the assets. Boom! You take that, you get that loan on your personal account first, and I would like that account to be new. You open up a new account. You put that money on that account, your personal, on Ion's name. And only then you transfer it to your LLC or C Corp in the US. And only then you start spending it. Got it? All right. Guys, and by the way, dropping you the links for free evaluation. And I know I told you that you will know at the end. But because we have no patience to give you the gifts, you're getting those links right now. So if you scroll to the top of the chat, you'll see the free evaluation for EB5, free evaluation for E2, free evaluation for L1 visa, the ones that we already covered. Okay, we'll have more. And you see like, oh my God, Stanislav, why did you put O1 talent visa? We're talking about investment. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Smoke on this, okay? Smoke on this. I'm going to explain why I'm going to cover the talent visas and EB2 and IW. And you will be surprised that not some of you, but many of you will qualify for those visas as well. Okay, so hold on to this. So how does free evaluation works? You guys may fill out as many forms as you wish. You can do all of them. It doesn't really matter for me. Within 2 days, once you submit, and you have to do it today while you're fresh and you remember, within 2 days, I will get back to you with initial analysis and let you know which visa is good for you, which criteria will satisfy, and if you have the potential in your case. What is potential? To be able to file your case within the next 6 months and get you approved with 90% plus chances, depending on the visa. So that's called the potential. And if I see that potential, I will then invite you to the complex immigration planning, where within 2 phases, I will build and create a written strategy for your case. Okay? And only then you will have an option to hire my company to proceed with this strategy. Okay, so let's take a look. Abdur, transfer money in personal account in the US or native country. Abdur, really good question, guys. Pay attention. Really good question from Abdur. Transferring for the purpose of EB5 and E2. L1 is a little different. L1 we don't have to prove the funds. Okay, this is actually an advantage. Whatever, I've seen one case in L1 in my career where the guy back in the day had like $500,000 investment. They asked us how we made that money, but it was very light request, not like for the purpose of EB5 or E2. EB5 is like, they're gonna take a microscope, a Hubble telescope, James Webb telescope, and look at your funds, how you made it. That's EB5. For E2, they're going to take a magnifying glass and look at your proof of funds. For L1, they're going to look like this. Okay, just very light, if at all. Okay, but for the purpose of EB5 and E2, your personal account can be anywhere in the world, including US. And on top of this, because Abdur asked such a great question, I'll add that the company that you may take the loan from can also be in the US. So that could be US made money for the purpose of immigration. Okay? Guys, Americans are very smart. Okay? They're very smart people. Contrary to what many countries' propaganda say. Like in Russia, you guys know I'm Russian, right? I was born, I lived in America for 20 years. I'm more American than Russian. But in Russia, up till now, the state propaganda says that Americans are stupid. Okay? And we know that this is false. This is not true. Americans are very smart. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to the other options. Guys, I know that maybe a few people from you, and I'm not surprised. I'm proud that you guys don't leave. You stay, which means for me, I'm giving you the value, and that's my task. Okay, that's my task. So some of you said to yourself, after listening to me for 1 hour, Stanislav, or whatever, you address yourself, you say, none of those 3 visas that you mentioned work for me for one or the other reason, for one or another. Okay? That's why, guys, as a bonus to today's webinar, I'm going to cover, it's going to be three additional visas, but the concept is, there are only 2 concepts, okay? The talent visa and national interest waiver visa, okay? And you will be surprised that you may qualify for those as well. So let's proceed. What is O1 visa? O1 visa is a non-immigrant, and you guys know why it's non-immigrant, because it doesn't start with EB, it starts with O1, some other letters, is a non-immigrant visa which is given initially for 3 years and could be extended indefinitely. And by the way, I just realized I didn't say same about L1 and E2. So L1 is 7 years max, 7 years. With the new company, 1 year, then 3 extensions by 2 years, okay? But trust me, you guys will get the green card before the 7 years expiration. E2, depending on the country, from 3 months visa to up to 5 years. But you remember that regardless of the length of your visa, your status will be 2 years in the US, okay? So O1 is 3 years, plus 1 year extensions indefinitely, okay? Indefinitely. Same as with E2, you can extend it indefinitely as long as your business works. L1, 7 years, you have to, if you get to 7 years, I've never seen this in my career, never. I've never filed 2 L1 visas for one person because everybody got green cards. But if you get to 7 years on L1, you need to leave for a year, and then you can get up to 7 years again. So you must have 1 year break. So what O1 gives you? It gives you the right to work and travel, okay? It gives you the right to bring your spouse and kids, and your kids will be able to go to school for free, just like other visas. It's rather simple to get, and I will be going by criteria O1 alongside with EB1A, which is a talent visa that gives you the green card, because the criteria are the same. So first about O1 in general, then about EB1A in general, then the criteria. So O1, guys, I filed definitely over 100 of O1 visa in my career, probably close to 200. I got only one denial, and I disagree with it. Okay, one denial. So why am I saying this? Not only because we're doing a great job to getting you the result, but to make you feel that O1 is one of the best visas to get approval for, even better than E2, because E2, if you're not in the US, you have to go to the embassy, and that's where you get your approval in front of the immigration officer. O1, you get an approval in the US, and with that approval, you go to the embassy to get your passport stamped with the visa. So this is a really good way, and especially for business people like you. And let me see, Prasanna is from India, and it may happen that she cannot get E2 because India is not on the list of the countries. She may not have $1 million to invest in EB5, and she does not have the company with 15 employees in India or anywhere else. So does it mean that Prasanna cannot come to the US at all? And the answer is no. Prasanna can get O1 visa, and I guarantee that Prasanna will get one if she wants to. Okay, and that would be her way to come to the US, and maybe for some of you. The only negative side of O1 visa, guys, is that your spouse unfortunately will not be able to work, unlike E2 or L1. Okay, so it's like H1B. H1B doesn't give the spouse right to work as well. We're not going to cover H1B today. But it's simple to get, and it's a great way to start. And some of you who did research on O1 visa is going to say, Stanislav, but O1 requires an American employer to sign the petition. And you are absolutely right. It does require the American employer. And if you does not have one, your own company may serve to be an employer. Even without capitalization, without investment, without business plan, and actually even without the bank account. Okay? So it's possible to open a fresh LLC or C Corp, and that company will serve your employer and sign your petition, even if that company is yours. All right? So we have the ways around this. So let's switch to EB1A. That's the sister visa for O1, just like EB1C is a sister visa for L1. Okay? So L1 switches to EB1C, O1 switches to EB1A for the purpose of the green card. Okay? So shortly about EB1A, and then the criteria for those visas. And guys, trust me, all of you will have at least two criteria satisfied for O1 or EB1A purposes. Okay, so stay tuned. Guys, let's keep the part what EB1A allows you. It allows you to get the green card. Okay, that's all you need to know. EB1A is a 10-year green card, which will allow you in 5 years to get the American passport. Okay? And Prasanna is like, what is awards in EB1A? She knows. And Prasanna, I assume you're a female, okay? Because I know the Indian names, they're crazy. So let me know if you're not a female, and I'm sorry if you're not. So Prasanna knows I'm going to talk about awards, right? So, and I will. He's a male person. I'm sorry. He knows I'm going to talk about this, all right? So, guys, get ready. We're going to cover it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the criteria, But trust me, every single businessman who did not want or could not qualify for other visas that we already covered got O1 visa. All right? That's all you need to know. So we need to prove 3 criteria out of the 8 available to you guys, to the business people, to the investors. And Prasanna is going to say, Stanislav, EB1A has 10 criteria, not 8. And Prasanna will be right. But for the purpose of business and investments, only 8 criteria will work for us. The other 2 is for the art. Okay? Musicians, artists, dancers, and all this. Okay? For us, it's only 8. So, what are those criteria? Number 1, awards. You participate in the business competitions in your country, startups, hackathons, best business plan, whatever, and you get the prize. First, second, or third places. That could be an award. If you guys have government awards, this is an award. If you speak at conferences that have a tough selection, and God forbid you get a publication of the article after this conference, this is an award. If you have a grant, private or government, this could be an award. Or if you have $100K investment into your startup idea, this is an award. Let's move on. Media coverage about you, your projects, and your work. Could be 2 types of media: major in your country or professional. Major, a lot of people read that press in your country. And guys, nobody reading the newspapers. It's all about the website. So we look how many people visit the website of this press. The professional press is not about how many people read, but who are those people? Who is the audience? And we want that audience to be business people, investors, so financial magazine, business magazine, journal, whatever. Okay? So either or, major or professional. How many articles do I need? Depending on the visa, for O1, probably around 3. For EB1, around 5. And you say, Stanislav, it's impossible to get the press. How do I do this? Don't worry, guys. We work with PR agencies across the globe who will help you to get that done. And those are going to be real articles, not fake, not backdated. We don't work with this craziness. We don't do illegal stuff, only legal. So those articles will happen. Number 3, published articles. And guys, those gotta be scientific articles, academic. About 3 to 4. Same way, we have vendors who can help you to make that happen really quick. Okay? So those 2 criteria can be taken care of. Number 4, critical leading role in organization with distinguished reputation. So it could be your company, or it could be other company you worked for. So if that company has a good reputation in the field, reputation in the field, and if you did an important function, or you led and control other people, we can satisfy these criteria. Really, every one of you has that. Every single one of you do have the leading critical roles either now or sometime in the past. Okay? Judging the work of other professionals. Either they call you to those competitions from awards and you assess the other professionals, business people, investors, startups, and so on. Or within your company or other companies that you worked for, the management asks you to assess the work of other managers or other people in your department who are professionals. There are more alternative ways to satisfy this criterion, but those two are the main ones. Number 6, contribution in the industry. So you've done something innovative in the industry that's significant. It's being used. For example, patents, technology, some innovative stuff, some approach. Maybe you created the courses and you teach other business people. Maybe you speak about some trends at the conferences. Maybe you wrote a book. Anything that's new and being used in the industry, a website, application, open source code, whatever could be a contribution in the industry. 7, associations, professional associations. This one is the rarest criterion. Why? Because that association must admit members only for outstanding achievement. And those who make the decision whether you've done outstanding achievement must be experts on the national level. It happens maybe in 5% of the cases, maybe 10% of the cases. So if you don't have that association, do not worry. And the last, but not least, and all of you has it. All of you guys have it. The commercial success. Okay. Why? Stanislav, why? Why you think I'm commercially successful? Prasanna asks, or Abdur asks. Okay, or Saif, or Al. Because you guys here on this web, okay? Because this web is for business people, investors, and entrepreneurs. And that means you guys commercially successful. So all of you have commercial success and leading or critical role in an organization with a high reputation. This is 2 criteria, guys. 2. We need 3, but of course we want 5 or 6. Okay, so think of it. Think of it for a second. You have commercial success. You have critical leading role in the company or probably companies. Okay, you can get the scientific academic articles. You can get the press about you. This is already 4 criteria. Some of you already have judging through assessing the work of other professionals. Some of you have contribution in the industry. You've done something important. And so on. So O1 visa is in your face. Guys, O1 visa is in your face. And you didn't know about it. Okay? And O1 is available to all of you. And O1 does not require you to invest the money, to show the proof of funds, to look for the employer. That's all done in-house. Okay? So, not to say that I'm pushing you to O1 visa, guys. No, not at all. But for some of you, it's the only way to go. Okay? So think of it very deeply and see if that's something you want to consider. If we get to the 6 criteria, we can file for EB1A. Guys, 25% of my EB1A filings, and I file 10 to 15 EB1As monthly, not yearly, monthly. 25% are the business people. And trust me, I did not yet have a single denial of the business EB1A petition, as much as a STEM EB1A petition. Engineers, IT, doctors, architects, professionals, all of them got approved. All of them. Maybe one. Okay, maybe one denial for one IT. One denial for EB1A for IT specialist. We got him 4 criteria. We got him everything. The officer didn't like the case subjectively. Okay, so that's treated by filing. All right, guys, let's move on. We have one more thing to cover. We have one more visa to cover, and we have only 9 minutes. Let me see, Prasanna, how much height has to be in high pay in India. So the commercial success is assessed by your geographical location. So, and it's assessed by your occupation in the company, not by dividends, okay? Not by dividends. So we need to show the salary being higher, significantly higher. I want to see 2x. By law, 20 to 30% is enough. But realistically, I want to see 2-3x of geographical location standards for this position. Yes, 20 is enough, Prasanna. 20 is enough, but I prefer 100%, twice as much. Okay, expert opinion letters, guys, in my company, because every single minute, as we speak, we have 250 clients simultaneously working on their cases. 250. We created the program NEO, which allows you to get up to 4 expert opinion letters for the purpose of a talent visa within my company. And those letters are going to be of the quality you will never be able to get yourself. Because those people are the clients who are filing for the talent visa. So the expertise level is through the roof. And you guys exchange. You guys don't know each other, and you're both experts on talent. So you exchange those letters within my company up to 4. And the weight of those letters, incredible, okay? Only in my company, there is no analog in the universe, okay? Again, another sign how much effort we put into your cases. All right, so let's move on. 15 recommendation letters. You guys will all get them. So let's we will look at the statistics. We'll look at the government statistics for this occupation in your geographical location, and we'll base our commercial success off that. EB2 and IW, guys, the last thing I want to cover, really short, but trust me, guys, about 10-20% of EB2 and IW filings are in business. There is engineers, IT, it's STEM visa, but up to 20% we get approval for business people. So again, EB2 and IW is green card. We're not going to spend too much time. It's mostly for STEM, but it has a narrow niche for the businesses. So, and let me just get straight to the point. Take all the noise off. What do we want to see in EB2 and IW? We want to see one out of the two. One, either you bring the capital to the US and you're going to blow your business, grow it, and you have a really good business plan and the money to support it, creating the jobs in the US, How many jobs? At least 15 plus. And you better have that business already running, because otherwise they're not going to believe us. And we must have the money to support it. So that's number one. Number two, and I prefer number two over number one every single day, twice on Sunday, if you bring some innovation or technology in the US and you want to make money out of it. For example, I had a client from Russia who invested, Lord knows how much money, into fertilizer. And he was selling it. He patented it and he was selling it. And that fertilizer increased the yield of the crops by 20%. So his case, guys, was very easy. His endeavor, his project was bringing this fertilizer to the US, selling it to the US farmers, and through that, the national interest is increased in the production, in the yield of the crops by 20%. This is huge. Huge, guys. 20% yield is huge. We got him approved. Okay? This is just an example. Another example, fresh, recent, 1 month ago. A businessman from Kazakhstan who was working in a construction company in Kazakhstan for all his life. And his name was not Borat, guys. No, not what you think. He implemented the technology of building a contemporary base, the base for the houses, so they can work for longer. So his endeavor here in the US was working for this small construction company and to implement this technology to build this base for the residential houses. And you like, Stanislav, what's the national interest in this business? The national importance and interest is that those houses, instead of serving for 70, 80 years, would serve for 150 years. And less danger of collapsing of those houses, killing the people. Okay? All right, so I think those are really really good examples for you guys to understand what EB2 NIW is about, and it's a green card. All right, so let me get through my stuff, and I will leave 5 more minutes for the questions, guys, so stay tuned. Guys, QR code to connect directly with my company, okay? You're not gonna get Stanislav online, guys. That's not what I'm doing. I'm doing your strategies. I'm controlling your strategies, and I'm drafting the memorandum in your cases. The memorandum is the most important document in your case. That's all I do. Strategy, control, memorandum. Everything else is my team of professionals. So scan the QR code or make a screenshot and then scan it from a different device. You can contact me directly. You can contact my company directly through WhatsApp. Free evaluations. All the visas were discussed, plus we dropped you the links in the comment section. You can fill out one or all of them. You will give me 2 days. I will analyze for free. We'll get back to you and tell you which visa is good which criteria we satisfy, and if you have the potential. And if you do have the potential to get your case prepared and filed within the next 6 months, and that's how long we work on your cases. If we cannot do it within the next 6 months, the case is not ready. Okay? I will invite you to the complex immigration planning, where within 2 phases, first you meet with the data manager, then you meet with me. I draft you the written winning strategy for your case, which then becomes the landmark of your case once you start working with the team. Okay, guys, the QR code for the guide that I promised you in the beginning, this is our second gift. Please make sure you get this guide downloaded to your computer or your device now. Not later than 2 days from today, because after that we will deactivate the link. Do it now, download it, study it. Okay, this is a unique product. All right, let's go to the questions. And guys, don't forget, at very least, you have to follow me on YouTube. At very least. Every week, I release 2 videos covering those visas we covered today with you in depth. I have, 400 videos on my YouTube channel. So you'll find a lot of stuff. Also, Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook. And by the way, you can download the guide through the link in the chat. So guys, your last opportunity to ask me the question, okay? Your last opportunity. Trust me, you don't get much of those opportunities. So use it wisely, okay? So Prasanna, can any visa migrant type green card can do business after getting green cards, or only EB5 can do business? Oh, no, guys, a green card is a green card. You can do whatever you want. Whatever you want. Work for yourself, work for the business, work for the association, not to work at all, anything. And in 5 years after you got the green card, you will file N400 form to get your passport. Once you get your blue passport, you are a citizen of the world. Okay? You're a citizen of the world. Abdul, for the green card to passport, how many days, months, or years we have to stay in the US within 5 years of time? 2.5 years. Within 5 years time frame, you have to be in the US. And guys, they will count the days. Okay, so give yourself some space to breathe. Okay, don't do 22.5 years. Do like 2 years and 8 months, 3 years or more. Okay, don't go on a thin blade. Perfect. Guys, I think we all done. So, free evaluation. You come to that's your first step to immigrate to the US and start working with my company, with my team. Complex immigration planning for the strategy in your case, a written document. And that document could be anything between 15 to 100 pages. Okay? And then once we're through that, you guys need to sign a contract with my company. And for the next 6 months, commit to your case. Okay? You have to commit. It's not going to happen. The documents are not going to produce themselves. You're the one to produce the documents. With the help. Guys, thank you for the kind words. Al, thank you. Abdur, guys, thank you. Prasanna, great questions. You guys are awesome, and I hope you did a great. You got a lot of value out of it. So I'll see you here in Miami when you get approval for your non-immigrant or immigrant visa. My name is Stanislav Shamayev. I'm a lawyer of the future. Your future begins here. Good luck.